in estates. You're using the estates.
No, I'm just saying, I'm giving you, I told you about Osborne. You see, one thing, that this thing is driven not by estates, it's driven by what we call distribution transformers.
What's your distribution capacity?
Okay, as we are here today, the megawatts in terms of energy that we take, from the center is 700 megawatts.
So now that the government has approved 26 billion from MDAs to be released to you, are you more liquid now?
Well, that's an issue that when you're talking about, we would be happy for government to pay. And as long as I'm concerned with government, the Honorable Minister has done so much to the extent that the verification has just been concluded. And then we've just been told that payment will be made. That payment actually, like I keep telling you, we are running a company, we are running a sector that is highly illiquid. Illiquid to the extent that we find it difficult to even meet up our revenue to the center. What I mean by that is that you find out that this energy we're talking about today is generated by the generating stations. It comes to transmission, and before it gets to us. So all these value chains, they have their own revenue. So we are unable to meet that revenue. And because of this shortage in that revenue, that is what government wants to block. So it does not mean government is bringing that revenue to us. No, it's not going to come to us because we are actually being told that it will go straight to embed. And for us, we don't have any challenge with that because if you owe somebody, definitely you will have to pay him. But the challenge is that as long as we are talking today, because of the issue of the non-reflective tariff that is not in, is not in place as we speak, you find out that the payment that we are getting in terms of revenue from our customers is way down. There's a very big shortfall between what the value chain at the top, which is the generation and transmission, or what we call the market bill. The market bill is way higher than what we eventually get as revenue from our customers.
What's the status, I mean, for metering that you have now currently today? Because we understand that private participation is now coming in. What level have you reached?
Well, I want to tell you that the kind of business we are doing today is a business that has thrown up so many things that is actually beneficial to the system. When you're talking about private sector and talking about private participation, these are things that are also dependent on how attractive. Because for instance, if you want to come in, people are interested to get into this industry. But what is important is that no businessman comes and drops his money if he's not sure of a return in that process. If you're asking me that we have beautiful presentations, we have people coming to say that we want to do business with you, but when you discuss the financial, the rollouts in terms of how do I get back the investment, it becomes a challenge because the books we are running today, given the kind of revenue that we are getting because people are actually not paying, because the tariff is not where it's supposed to be, it is a very big challenge to get these people to actually mobilize to help us.
Where is this tariff supposed to be?
Well, if you talk about tariff, it's something, the tariff is not just what you choose to be. And the tariff is not actually a global thing. It is something that, for instance, for me, as of today, I have the highest tariff for about 34 naira. And then if you talk about where you and some other people belong, it's about 24 naira. Now, if you look at that, if you get somebody to do a generation for you right now and give you, like some people who are doing IPP on their own, if you ask them what they are, some people are paying as much as 70 naira, even 80 naira per kilowatt hour. But for me, I'm charging 24 naira. For that same. So if you go to some of our customers, they'll tell you that yes, I have an IPP that's generating, but the only thing is that I have 24 hours of service, but meanwhile, I am paying through my nose.
How many hours of electricity does your distribution zone provide?
Well, for us, what we are doing as of today is an average of between 12 and 22 hours. But I have estates that also do up to 23, 24.
That's independent?
Yeah, no, for us.
For you?
Yeah, you know the issue of delivery of power is not just the issue of you getting power and giving to people. The network is also a challenge. There is a capex. You need to put this network on a system that it will be available and it will have a reliable and available network to be able to feed the customer. Okay. These things are all things that are affected by the rolling of the revenue within the company.